continuous. ماضٍ ليس لأحد أن يطعن عليهم. It's not for anyone to revile them, curse them. This is not the way and sign of Ahl Sunnah. ولا ينازعهم, nor to go out against them and oppose them. وَدَفْعُ الصَّدَقَاتِ إِلَيْهِمْ. If they ask to be given the charity, the zakah and so on, then it's to be given to them. And this is allowed. And it is to be implemented. نافذة, he says. And whoever gives it to them, then he has sufficed himself in giving his zakah. Whoever that leader, that Muslim leader is barran kana aw fajiran. See, he repeated it 3 times now. Whether that Muslim leader is righteous or unrighteous. Why? Because of the greater harm that is going to be caused, as we mentioned, if you go out against him with your tongue and sword. And the quality, or the category of people who go out against the Muslim leaders with their tongue and sword are the Khawarij. And that's why the next section he mentioned about the Khawarij. So all of this is mentioned in one section. That the Khawarij are the ones who went out. In fact, they are followers of Dhul Khawaisra, who said to the Messenger ﷺ after he was giving out the booty and he wanted some for himself. Dhul Khawaisra wanted some for himself. He said, "I'dil ya Muhammad, be just, O Muhammad." Prophet ﷺ said, وَمَنْ يَعْدِلِ إِذَا لَمْ أَعْدِلْ. Who is going to be just if I'm not just? Because he is the most just. He is the best of the children of Adam and the most pious. So he said, وَمَنْ يَعْدِلِ إِذَا لَمْ أَعْدِلْ. Umar ibn Khattab was ready to strike this individual who was bald. In the way he looked was bald, and likewise he was a person of dunya. This is the way of the Khawarij. They live in this country, for example, in England, and they say, we are in Dar al-Harb, we are in war in this country. He wakes up late, living side by side with Muslims and non-Muslims, not having any problem. He can go to the masjid, he can go to fast his month of Ramadan, he can do his worship, and he says, I'm in war, in a war zone. He calls it Dar al-Harb. And then what do? They end up transgressing. Because they say we can have, we can steal from the kuffar. This is haram, this is prohibited. So they end up going to wherever it is, Tesco's or Sainsbury's, and taking the best grapes, the best food, saying that they can steal from the kuffar because they say the booty. They have a kuffar women who they take as girlfriends, and they say this is also part of the booty. And they call this the part of the faith. So this is the end result of these people. Just like Dhul Khawaisra, I'dil ya Muhammad, how he wanted a share of the dunya, just like these Khawarij. They want a share of the dunya. They want a piece of the dunya, stealing from the kuffar, stealing, not just the kuffar, anyone who opposes them, you will find them having evil traits towards them. And also they impose an Amir for their group. Just like the one in Salah who said, I'm Amir Mu'mineen. They impose an Amir who tries to misguide the rest. So the Amir, the leader of the Muslim, Sheikh Imam Ahmad Rahimahullah said, Salatul Jum'ah also should be behind them, unless they appoint somebody to lead the Jum'ah. This is something ja'iza, which is allowed, and tamma, and complete. It's 2 rak'ahs, it's complete. And whoever turns away from that, then he is an innovator. And from the political activist is Sayyid Qutb, who used to make takfir of the society. And likewise, it's also reported from him that he didn't used to pray Jum'ah in Egypt. He didn't used to go and pray Jum'ah with the leader and with the Muslims. Why? Because he considered the society to be not a Muslim society. This is documented in those who know him and those who have reported from him. So those who do this are the innovators, and they have left the athar, the narrations regarding hearing and obeying the Muslim leaders in the ma'ruf, in the righteous matters. They have left athar and mukhalifun li sunnah, and they have opposed the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Laysa lahu min fadli al-jum'ah shay. So even if he was to pray, he doesn't have that fadl, that benefit of Salat al-Jum'ah in anything. If he doesn't believe that Salah should be behind the leaders of the Muslims, whoever they may be. Again, fourth time now, Imam Ahmad is saying, Barrahum wa fajirhum, whether is righteous or unrighteous. فَالسُّنَّةِ, the sunnah is to pray with them, 2 rak'ahs, and to believe that it is complete without having in your heart any hesitance that your salah is complete. لا يكن في صدرك من ذلك الشك. Who is saying this? Imam Ahmad rahimahullah, Imam al-Sunnah. Imam al-Sunnah. Sheikh Zayd said this is the madhab of Ahl al-Sunnah wal-Jama'ah, and the saved group, the Ta'ifat al-Najiyah al-Mansura, the victorious group, in opposition to the Khawarij, those who see that you don't pray behind the Muslim leaders due to what they have of oppression and wrongdoing. Rather, you find them making takfir of them, and so they don't even see that you pray any prayer behind them, and in opposition to the Rawafid. Rawafid, at least, although we know that what they're upon in cursing the Sahaba, but he says Rawafid, they actually say you must pray behind them the Salat al-Jum'ah, even though they also have misguidance. And also يصلون الظهر عقب الجمعة مباشرة. But the Rawafid, you see what they do is, although they see that you must pray behind that evil ruler, Jum'ah, you must pray, they say, after it, Dhuhr. قاتلهم الله. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fight them. أن يؤفكون. فالحمد لله على تميز أهل السنة. So all praise due to Allah for the distinction of Ahl al-Sunnah, which is in between these two misguided groups, the Khawarij and the Rawafid. Those two evil groups who have extremism in their path. Then he says, next section, Imam Ahmad says, وَمَنْ خَرَجَ عَلَى إِمَامٍ مِنْ أَئِمَّةِ الْمُسْلِمِينَ, whoever goes against an imam, a leader of the Muslims, كَانَ النَّاسُ اجْتَمَعُوا عَلَيْهِ, whoever that imam, the people have gathered, and affirmed that he has the leadership, whatever that way that it comes about, that leadership, whatever way it comes about, whether it is a way of the people being pleased with him, or a way of him taking it by force, then it is binding upon the rest that they hear and obey the Muslim leader. As for the one who goes out against him, even after that, then asal Muslimin. Imam Ahmad said he has disobeyed the Muslims. وَخَالَفَ الْآثَارِ, and he's gone against the narrations from the Messenger ﷺ. And if he dies, then that is the one who dies a death of Jahiliyyah. So those Hizb al-Tahrir, Muhajirun and political activists who love to quote that hadith about whoever dies without the giving bay'ah to the imam or to the leader of the Muslims, they themselves don't fulfill this hadith. Because if they were to go to a Muslim country, they consider the leaders to be kuffar, all of them, indiscriminately. This is what they said in one poster. Why all of the Muslim leaders are kuffar? And even the title itself opposes itself. Because they said Muslim leaders oppose they're kuffar. So they themselves contradict themselves. And we know that even some of them, they make takfir of themselves, let alone the Muslim leaders. And there are those leaders, yes, that the ulama of Ahl al-Sunnah have said that they are not Muslim, based upon dalil, based upon the hujjah. The likes of Gaddafi, who said he doesn't follow the Quran, but rather he has his own book called the Green Book, which he takes his system from and his legislation from. Here's a person who clearly professes what his belief is. And so the Muslim ulama, the likes of Sheikh Abdul Aziz bin Baz rahimahullah, said he's not a Muslim. And likewise, even before the Gulf War,